my channel. As you guys know, MTV, they are putting people on the chopping block, and they are letting people go over comments that some were made 9 years ago. Alex Campo, we just found out last night, I just found out last night, that Alex Campo was fired from Siesta Key, even though his dad was the one that started the show. His dad funded the show. His dad was a producer of the show. They let him go over comments that he made from 2012 to 2014. One involving a meme about President Barack Obama. Another post where allegedly Alex used the N-word. So they have let him go. They also let Dee go from the challenge. A lot of people from the Real Housewives, they're really letting people go for this. You know, anything that they find, it doesn't matter how long ago it was, they are letting people go, you guys. And a lot of people have been wondering, you know, about Kail. And one of the reasons why is because like Brittany DeJesus and Brianna DeJesus, they're really kind of pushing the issue that Kail has made racial comments in the past, and they would like to see something done about it. Now, as we all know, I mean, if you guys have been on with Team Mom from day one, then you probably know that Kail was actually friends with Brittany and Brianna at one point. They were friends up until Brianna and Javi started dating, which is why when Javi and Brianna started dating, it was kind of an issue. She was like, we were kind of cool too. Like, it wasn't just like we were just co-workers, but we were actually kind of friends, you know, and they kind of done it behind my back. Nobody told me. So there was this issue between them. They were friends at first. Brianna starts dating Javi, and it really hits the fan for those. If you guys remember one reunion, Brianna comes out. I mean, she comes out when Dr. Drew calls her on the stage. She runs up into the reunion just yelling and cursing at Kail. Kail got up, and Kail was literally like, I'll fight you, move, everyone, move. And Brittany jumped out of her seat and got in the middle of them and was trying to talk Kail down. Kail told her, like, this has nothing to do with you. This is about your sister. Just move out of the way. And Brittany decided, no, I'm just going to go around you and I'm going to pull your hair, which is exactly what happened. Brittany went around the back and ended up pulling Kail down by the hair of her head. So there has been a lot of bad blood between them ever since, you guys. At one reunion, I think this was actually the same reunion, but before everyone went on stage, Brianna and Kail was in a dressing room where they were getting their hair and their makeup done. And Kail used the word ratchet when talking to Brianna. At the time, I don't remember anybody saying anything about it being anything offensive to anyone. I myself don't remember that. Other than Brittany, she did make a post on Twitter about it back when it happened, back in 2012. She said when a minority, a girl from like a minority, a black, a Latino girl, if they make a comment like this, there's an issue. But if a white girl says it, everybody turns a blind eye, right? Well, that was the only thing that I seen where anybody tried to say that it was like something that Kail used like with a racial undertone, that she meant it in a racist type of way, right? That was the only thing that I seen. I did not see a lot of people upset about it. Now, with what's going on with MTV and the way they are firing people left and right, it really looks like Brianna and Brittany, they are really trying to get Kail fired. I'm going to read something to you guys. Okay, so there's an article up by Celebration, and it says, Teen Mom Brittany says she warned everyone about Kail's racially charged statements. And she said that no one listened. And she's talking about the comments where she said her sister was called ratchet. So the term ratchet is often used instead of ghetto. Ratchet is a ghetto dialect mispronunciation of the word wretched. However, apparently the slang term has extended to have broader connotations and no longer strictly is connected to race, which is like, that's why I guess probably I didn't see it as like a race thing when I watched the show and I seen that she said that. So it does have a broader meaning now, but they are saying, Brittany and Bri are saying, no, she meant it as a racial slur, and the company needs to do something. The network needs to do something. Like, you can't hold everybody else accountable and not hold Kail accountable is basically what they're saying. Another thing that people were bringing up, fans were bringing up, was the time that, as you guys know, Kail has 3 beautiful kids. She's about to have a 4th child. She has her son, Isaac. His dad is Hispanic. He has a Hispanic father. So at one point she made the comment that she didn't want Joe to dress Isaac like a thug. So apparently, you know, people are having issue with that as well, and they're saying that that was a racial slur as well. Now Bri is also saying that she thinks Kail is racist towards her because Kail has never invited her to do coffee combos, and Kail did not send her hair care products back when she launched her hair care line a few years ago. And as you guys remember, Kail did send her hair care products to basically everyone on the Teen Mom cast, even Janelle, which was one of the things that Bri pointed out. She said, even Janelle got some hair care products and she's been invited to be on Coffee Combos. But I, however, have not, and it must only mean one thing. Like, what makes the most sense is obviously because Kail doesn't like Latin women, right? Well, I personally, my own 2 cents about that is I think Kail and Janelle have a longer history of a friendship than Kail and Brittany and Brianna did. Like, Janelle and Kail have been on the show for like over 10 years. At one point, Kail bailed Janelle out of jail. So I think it's just that Kail can probably forgive Janelle easier than she can Bri, because it was a situation with Bri, like, your sister attacked me from behind. Also, my ex-husband was involved and like some shady things were going on. I feel like you guys weren't truthful with me. Like with Janelle and Kail, really like the majority of what's happened between them is just like internet wars back and forth, like saying mean and ugly things to each other back and forth, you know? So that's my personal opinion of why Kail can kind of get over things as easier with Janelle than she has Bri. And I also feel like Kail did not have an issue with Brittany or Bri until there was an issue. Like, there was never like, well, you're Latin women and I don't like Latin women, so I can't be your friends. They were fine. They were friends. Back when Kail turned 23, she rented a home in Florida, and guess who she invited? She invited Brittany and Nova. Brittany and Nova went and stayed with Kail at this home that she rented, and they went to Disney together. Nova and Kail's kids played together. They hung out and went and had dinner together, and they stayed there at Kail's home, okay? And then years later, Bri and Kail would go on Dr. Miami together to have surgery. During that whole incident, during that whole situation, when they had surgery, they hung out, they went to dinner together, they took pictures together, they were friends, they were fine. Another thing was when Brianna was brought on to Teen Mom 2, when she was switched over, the production actually wanted to film Kail going to Florida to introduce them to the rest of the cast. And that was something that Kail was possibly willing to do. Her and Brittany had a phone call about it. They talked about Kail flying in and them filming and Kail introducing Brittany and Bri to the rest of the cast, because production knew that Kail was friends with Brittany and Bri. So to me, I don't really think necessarily that Kail has an issue with them because of anything to do with the color of their skin or anything to that effect. I think maybe she said a few things and used a poor choice of wording, but I don't think Kail is racist. Also, when you're fired and you're labeled a racist, that's gonna follow them, you know, like Taylor Selfridge. What do you guys think? Do you guys, I mean, watching the show, Kail has been friends with people of every color. You know, she's been with Joe, who is Hispanic, Javi, who is Hispanic, and then her kids too. Like her kids, she has, you know, kids with Joe and kids with Javi, kids with Chris. So how would they feel if their mom was labeled a racist? How would that affect them, you guys? You guys let me your thoughts. Do you guys feel that Brittany and Bri are using this as an opportunity to try to get Kail kicked off the show just because they don't like her? Leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. And until next time, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye, everyone.